I'm so sorry to be the one to have to tell you this.
I mean, are you sure? I just...
You don't believe me?
No, Yes. What happened?
Victoria, I honestly don't know. It was a terrible, terrible accident. And Ryan feels devastated.
That's why he didn't come to the hospital again. That's why he hasn't...
He feels that he can't face you. Now, I tried to explain that you would never blame him, but it was his choice, and I felt that we should support him in this decision.
Does he want to see me?
No.
For what, a week or a month? What? Rand, are you saying he never wants to see me again? Ever?
Oh, Bridget, thank you so much for coming by quickly.
Ryan, I mean, what on earth?
Bridget, I need you to tell me more about the phone conversation that you had with Donna.
Well, she called. She said that they were at a very exclusive clinic and that Victoria was doing very well.
Bridget, that's not good enough.
But that's all I have.
No, there's got to be something else, Bridget. Come on, some words, some clue, something else.
I wish there were,
Please,
dear, but...
Bridget, think. Vicky's life could be in danger right now.
But she's in the hospital. I mean, she's going to be well.
No, not if she's with Brant. She isn't. Now, I've got to get to her before he tries something else because we could lose her forever.
Now, where do we go to celebrate? Tops? Or would you prefer Antoine's? Either is fine with me.
I don't have time for this. I have an acceptance speech.
So you do, my dear. Compliments of my 10%.
Look, I had no choice. My back was against the wall.
Yes, well, such is the hardship of corporate America. Misery acquaints a man with strange bedfellows, wouldn't you say?
Believe you me, I would have handed this company over to Jake and Spencer on a silver platter if it weren't for my family.
Who are you kidding? Oh, to be sure, you love your children. A better mother Bay City has never seen. But you have an investment here too, don't you? I mean, after all, it was you and Mac that built this empire. Imagine how disappointed he would have been. No, you couldn't let this slip through your fingers.
Why don't you just leave before I have you thrown out?
Now, Rachel, you're not going to wriggle out of our deal. We have an agreement. You owe me, Rachel, and I'm going to collect.
Freeze! Both of you.
Shut up, Maggie! You're not taking me in. And this little girl is going to make sure of that.
Come on, Rain. This girl's been helping you out for weeks. No way are you gonna hurt her.
Ian, come
I
on.
said shut up, Maggie! This is not a game!
That kitty cat, he's really hurting me.
Rain, I'm gonna give you 3 seconds to let the girl go.
That would make you a fool, because I can break her neck in two. If you'll leave me, I will.
Do whatever he says, he's hurting
Get
me.
off, pal. The place is surrounded. There is nowhere to go.
All they're gonna find is 2 dead bodies, mine and hers.
Ian, all he wanted to do was be your friend.
Well, that was your first mistake, little girl. What makes you think I'd be interested in you?
Listen, Captain, I'm really sorry for screwing things up. Just get me out of here.
This is a mistake of your life, Rain. Believe me.
That is my problem. Now you call your man and you tell him to back off.
I said call! This is Cooper. We got a hostage situation here. I want you to clear the driveway.
And tell him I'm taking the car in the driveway and I'm taking the Corey kid with me. Anybody tries to stop me, I shoot her first. Tell him. Tell him!
The perp is taking a hostage with him. Keep the driveway clear until you hear further orders, and let him pass.
Hold on. Now put your gun down at my feet. Slowly. Put it down. Put it down. That's good. Move back. Back up. We gotta go now, okay? Make sure your man do as you instructed him. Otherwise, Rachel Corey's gonna be wearing black for months. Say goodbye to the officer now, Maggie.
Tell my grandmother I'm sorry.
All right?
Yeah.
Let's go.
They're out. The minute they get off the property, I want Eckert Mahoney on their tail. Miller, I want you to act as backup. But listen, if you guys lose them, I'm gonna have your badges. You got that? And be careful. This guy is dangerous.
I don't owe you any more than I owe 100 other shareholders that voted with us this afternoon.
Well, that's not quite true now, is it? I mean, after all, it was me that you called at the 11th hour and asked me for my vote.
I called a number of people for their support. You were one of many.
But I had a clause that the others did not. Now, see here, I'm a reasonable man. I mean, I can appreciate that if dinner is a little overwhelming, then we can have drinks. I mean, the effect will be the same on the local bourgeoisie.
I already explained to you I have an appearance to
Yes, appearances. That's all I'm after, Rachel. You see, the right kind of image seems to be so important to the glitterati of Bay City. Now, what's best for you if tonight? Say tomorrow around 9?
I guess I haven't made myself very clear, have I? I have no intention of being seen with you. Not tonight, not tomorrow, not ever.
And where's all that integrity? I mean, is this simply a means to an end? Was I right? That you and I are not so very different? Now, you won today by a hair's breadth, but you really think that that's enough to scare off Spencer Harrison? Oh, no, no, no. No, he and his minion are sitting right now, waiting in the wings, waiting for the opportunity for the next shareholder vote.
He'll never do it. Spencer's reputation is in ruins.
Well, he's been there before. And like a cantankerous old warthog trapped in a thicket, he has nothing to lose. But then neither do I. Now, if I were to offer him my 10%, which I think you'd take, that coupled with his 28%, I really don't think your board would stand much of a chance, do you?
And I don't think you're going to do that. You just went on and on to me about how you feel about Spencer, what he's done to Ryan, what he's done to that woman you were in love with.
My dear, you seem to believe that I'm governed by the same principles, that I live by the same morality as a Mackenzie Corey.
I would compare you with Mackenzie Corey in my wildest dreams, Carl.
You see, business is about making money, and then making more money. Now, whether we like it or not, Spencer Harrison is a rather good businessman. And if the return on my investment would be better managed under his tutelage, well, so be it.
Well, then you do what you have to do. Good night.
No, it's not what I want to do, Rachel. You know that. I don't want to do that. Good God, is having a drink with me such a high price to pay for saving your company?
Yes, it is. Too high. Now, if you'll excuse me, my shareholders are waiting.
Yes, yes, indeed we are. Indeed we are, and you're not going to disappoint us, are you, love? No, that would be disastrous. It would be a dangerous, silly mistake to make. I'll walk down to the lot with you.
I have to see him. I have to tell him it's okay.
You see, I knew this would be a reaction. I told him so myself, but he seems hell-bent on keeping away from us, and especially from you. There was nothing I could do to change his mind.
It's an accident.
It was an accident, Victoria. It was. You have to believe me. Now, this is very important, darling. We had to tell the press something, and we had to tell them quickly. So I told them that it was my fault. I told them that I shot you.
Ryan was
I
right.
convinced Ryan to go along with it. But this is important. I can't can't allow you to think that I would fire a gun anywhere near you. So we have to live with this lie for the rest of our lives. And Ryan thinks that this is all his responsibility. He sees himself as a danger to you. He sees himself as a danger to our marriage.
I could just remember more. I want you to tell me what happened.
Darling, please.
I want to know how I was shot. How I ended up here. Grant, please.
All right. All right, darling. It'll make you rest easy.
Thank you.
When I came into the cave, Rain was trying to make his escape with you as a hostage. I foolishly brought a gun along. I took the gun out. I aimed at you. I tried to get a clear shot, but then I realized that I could risk hitting you. Ryan rushed me for the gun. I'm sure he wanted to make sure that he could get Rain regardless of what went on. And then suddenly, the next thing I knew, Rain was out of the picture, and Ryan raised the gun and fired, and he told me later on that he thought he had a clear shot. But you moved into the line of fire.
This feels so awful.
God, he does. He feels terrible. And you gotta give him some time, Victoria, because you must know how he feels.
But why would you tell the police that you shot
Well,
me?
penance is because I brought the gun into the situation.
You didn't have any right of
Darling, I
knowing.
thought I was doing the right thing. But the thought of losing you again...
It's okay. Darling, it's okay. I'm all right. I'm gonna be fine. Grant. Why do you think Ryan would go along with this lie? I mean, it's so unlike him.
We had a long discussion about it. And it came down to one simple fact. He was afraid that if he told the truth, he'd lose his badge.
And of course, having just asked for it back.
Darling, it was a major decision for him. You know how much he loves the Force.
I know.
And you know that his work is the most important thing to him. More important than anything or anyone.
Yeah, I suppose it is.
And I think there was another factor that entered into this. His pride. Because you see, darling, he panicked. And that's why he finds it so difficult to live with this situation. You gotta promise me something. Something that's very important. No one must know the truth, darling. Because I promised Ryan I wouldn't tell anyone. Not even you.
He didn't allow me to know.
So we have to respect Ryan's feelings in this and just let it die. Now you rest. You rest, and I'll check on you tomorrow.
Wait a minute. There's something I have to tell you, something very important.
Darling, I don't talk about this tomorrow.
This is about me. And I think you should get my mother in here too, because I think it's time everyone knew the truth.
Okay, listen, was there anything that Donna might have said to clue you in as to where they might have been?
No, nothing. No.
Okay, what about the phone conversation? Maybe it was long distance.
No, there was no operator. I picked up the phone and there was Miss Donna. That's
Damn
all
it.
there was. Well, I was so worried about Victoria. I mean, I didn't think to ask.
It's okay, Bridget. It's all right. There's no way that you could have known what was happening.
What is happening? I mean, I could tell you're very worried, but Victoria's with her family, my dear. And I know how you feel about your brother, but he certainly wouldn't ever harm her.
No. No, not physically. I'm sure that Grant has hired the best doctors that money can buy.
But then why are you so sure that she's in danger?
See, Bridget, I know the man that Vicky married, perhaps better than she knows him. Except now, I'm not so sure.
I'm confused. I'm confused. I really don't...
Listen. Do you remember when we were in the hospital? And you told me to speak from my heart?
Yes.
Well, I did that.
I told Vicky that I still loved her, that I forgave her, and most importantly, that I wanted her back.
Did she hear you?
Not really. She was still unconscious. I was just trying to get through to her.
Oh, I'm so sorry,
It's all right.
dear.
Unfortunately, I also told Grant.
Oh, my, no. Oh, he couldn't have been very happy about that.
No, and that's when he took her out of the hospital and whisked her away without leaving a forwarding address.
Are you telling me that the senator was the one that transferred her? Oh, the devil. Oh, he's got my girl.
Right, so Grant has got Vicky, and he doesn't want anybody else near her.
But, Ryan, Victoria's very strong-headed. You know, nobody can pull the wool over her eyes. You know that.
You're right. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Vicky really does love him. I have no idea.
Well, you'll never know unless you ask her, will you? So why don't you just give her another chance? Tell her that you love her. And then you just have to let her make up her own mind and her own choice about what she's going to do.
Bridget, what happens if she's already done that? What happens if Grant has already convinced her to stick to the marriage no matter what? Then what am I going to do?
What's all this nonsense about you wanting to talk? The doctor said you're supposed to be resting.
I know, I am, and I will rest, but I just really need to get this off my chest, especially after Grant was so honest about what happened to me.
Darling, if it'll make you feel better, you say what you have to say.
I know how angry you were when I went to Canada. And I just want you to know I was so worried and afraid for Ryan. I knew that the message from Carl was important, but you both wanted me to just ignore it, and...
But that's because we knew Ryan could take care of himself.
And, of course, I had to have the last word. And I ended up lying to both of you. And to Daddy. And to Stephen.
Darling, you don't have to go on about
Yes,
this.
I do. I just want you to know that you were both right all along. And I can't tell you how relieved I am that I was the one who was shot, because I'm the one who deserves this.
Victoria, no.
Everything that happened, it was my fault.
No,
It was
it was not.
You told me not to go to
But you
Canada.
went. You went. You're not a child, Victoria. You're my wife, and I'm not going to punish you because you made a bad judgment call.
You're not even angry at me.
I won't lie to you. At first, I was furious. But that past, as it always will with us. All I want for you is for you to be happy, darling.
Grant has been at your side night and day.
When I was holding your hand in that hospital room and praying to God that he not take you from me, I made a decision right then and there that I wouldn't stand in your way. Not about anything anymore. I love you, darling. Now you promise me that you'll get some rest, all right?
I promise you I'll try.
It's a good girl.
Mother, I was wondering if you could stay for a few more minutes.
Just a few more minutes, but I want you to get some rest.
I'm so glad that you're home, baby.
I missed you so much.
I miss you too.
Even you, Dane.
Oh, yeah, even me. I'll take that as a compliment. So what's it feel like to be a movie star?
I can't believe my mother is a movie star.
Hardly. I had a few lines.
Oh, please, that's why you didn't have time to come home between now and rehab. I will bet you $100 she had at least 30 pages of dialogue.
Oh, no. That's one bet I'm not going to take. I know a movie star when I see one. There's
Would
one
you
right there.
stop
Right
it,
there.
both of you, right now? Stop it.
So, how was rehab? Was it tough?
Yeah, but you know what? Why don't we talk about that later? Because right now I have half the Corey contingency here, and I'm expecting the other half any second. And you know what else? I want to talk to you about giving myself a little party. I mean, I think I deserve it.
We were thinking about doing it.
Good. Yeah, okay, we'll talk about it. Let me just go take care of a couple of things. Come on.
Here she is.
Some of these people didn't even hear your speech.
No, neither did I.
I'll tell you all about it.
Yeah, you did it. You really
No, I didn't do it. My mom did it.
Get out. I was there with you making the phone calls. Remember, you did your share of the vote getting Corey, believe me.
Well, whoever did it, we won.
Well, it was pretty miserable, but we prevailed. Oh, that's great. We're so happy for you.
You should have heard his speech. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I bet it was. I have a proposition to make to you.
Yes, ma'am.
I was thinking that maybe you would like to come on Jam Session as my guest and talk about what happened, because I think that it would be an incredible inspiration for women out there. It would be my honor to do the interview.
Well, thank you very much. I look forward to it.
Okay, great.
Good idea.
Yes.
Hi. Hi. Oh, you're in time for the party. Good. Oh, wonderful. Great. Not in the mood for a party, I think.
Listen, the other night when you were over at my place, did you happen to move anything?
Anything like
You know, like books, papers, cushions, drawers?
No. I don't touch anything in your apartment without permission. You know that.
What about the time that you wanted Graham's address?
Okay, that's different. One little time, and it was an emergency.
And there wasn't any emergencies the other night?
You know what? He's starting to worry me. Did somebody break into your apartment? Lorna.
Carl paid me a visit. And I'm just a little bit paranoid about him.
Damn this man. I don't want him anywhere near you, Lorna. I want you to call the police right now.
Calm down. I've already told him to steer clear of me or suffer the consequences, and I think I got through.
What does this man want with you?
Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention just for a minute, please. I'd like to propose a toast to Miracle Worker of the Year, Rachel Corey. Please come up here. A woman who stood up for her principles and let the world know that she couldn't and wouldn't be cowed by the likes of Spencer Harrison and Jake McKinnon. Job well done, my friend. To you.
What's all this? Crying over spilled milk?
Why not, Spencer? We blew it. What are you doing here anyway?
Looking for you. I saw your bike outside.
Why?
It's time for our next move, and I thought I should discuss strategy with my partner.
Please, Spencer, there is nothing left for us here, and you know it.
On the contrary, the opera isn't over yet, Jake. The fat lady hasn't even taken center stage.
So have you talked to Bridget?
Oh, of course. I called her the minute you were out of the woods.
I was just wondering maybe if she'd spoken to Ryan.
Why would she have spoken to
Because Grant told me that Ryan was the one who shot me. And I know how close Bridget and Ryan are, and I just thought maybe he might have spoken to her.
Well, she didn't say a word. I'm sure she hasn't seen him.
Does it seem kind of strange to you? I mean, Ryan's a professional. He's a crack shot. I remember one time Billy told me that Ryan was the best shot on the force.
Well, yes, but you know anything can happen even in the best circumstances.
So did you know about this already?
No, I didn't. I didn't know about it until just now. But if Grant said that was what happened, he was in the cave, and he wouldn't lie. I mean, especially if he could get caught.
Yeah, right. Then you think this, is possible?
I don't know anything but what I see. And no one loves you more than Grant. He's been moving heaven and earth to try to save you.
I know, but Ryan...
But Ryan is in Bay City where he belongs. You are here with your family and your husband who loves you more than anything in the world, so please, just try to get some rest. Try to dream about your future with Grant and how wonderful it's going to be.
Frankie couldn't make it over, but she sends her love and her congratulations.
Well, I'm sure she sent her vibes, too.
Oh, no doubt. Now, listen, do you have any idea who came in with that last block of votes in our favor? Because until then, I was sure that Spencer and Jake were ahead.
Well, we knew that stock was being traded up to the last minute. A new investor, that's all.
We should contact this person since they feel so strongly about the company and your management of it.
Oh, I don't think so. They traded anonymously. Obviously, they don't want to be in the limelight.
Well, I suppose you're right, but still it'd be interesting to find out
This is
who it
Corey.
was.
Excuse me, there's a telephone call for you.
Thank you, Franco. Hello?
Rachel? This is Billy Cooper here. I'm at your home, and I'm sorry to say there's been an incident. Can you get back here right away?
All right, this is it for you, Maggie. Get out.
But I want to talk. I mean, back there, I thought that
I don't care what you thought. This is the end of the line. The cops are right behind us. Now get out.
I don't care, Ian. That was really scary. That policeman would have shot you if I wasn't there. What are you doing?
What am I doing? I asked you to get out of the car. Now get out of the car.
No, not until you tell me what
You
you're
do
doing.
as I tell you, or I will break your neck. Now you stay.
Oh, what am I, a dog?
I'm not kidding. You hide your face so you can't see where I'm going. Do it.
You're kidding yourself, Spencer. Everything that we had going for us went down the drain, including the best thing that ever happened to me.
A setback, Jake, that's all.
Don't you get it, Spencer?
This was my last chance. Stay close to Paulina, my last chance to win her back. So this is the man I chose to be my partner. The man who loses a couple of rounds and then throws in the towel. You are crazy. We were humiliated. No, we simply lost our advantage. And as for Paulina, I'd say the same thing applies.
You would you? He who owns sons don't even speak to him.
That's right. And if you think I'm going to accept that, you don't know me at all. I intend to have Corey, and by God, I'll have my sons back too.
Neat trick. See, I'd do the same thing with Pauline if I had a clue what you were talking about, but since I don't...
Oh, Jake. Don't tell me I'm wrong about you. That would disappoint me most of all.
Your boy and your audience cut to the chase.
We're both scrappers, Jake, and when we're hurt, we hide it from everyone. But the thing is, that's when we're the most dangerous. That's when we'll take chances that no one else would ever dream
I'm
of.
still not following you.
No one, not Rachel, not Paulina, would ever suspect that we'd come back fighting. They think they've won. And for a very short while, we'll let them think just that.
And then what?
Then we let that fat lady sing. But from a score that we compose and orchestrate ourselves.
Well, Spencer, I never knew you were a music lover.
Oh, my boy. I'm known as the Irish Toscanini. Come on.
Ryan, what are you doing here? What's happened?
Billy called Rachel over at
Right,
Tom's
I know.
and
He
said-
called me in because of my connections between Ian and Maggie.
Did Ian really kidnap Maggie?
What is with this guy? He must be scared to
If
death.
everyone would just hold their questions, I'm sure that I can explain everything that's going on.
Well, please do. The house was supposed to be guarded. I mean, wasn't that the whole point?
Iris, please calm down. Of course, it was secure.
Ryan, what happened?
Ian was already inside when Billy walked in. Ian grabbed her and then took off.
Is she all right?
Yeah, she's fine.
How do you know that? Has
but-
anybody talked to her?
Billy.
Maggie, what happened, honey? Are you all right?
I wouldn't give too much sympathy to this little con artist if I were you.
Captain, don't you dare insult a Corey.
What happened?
I had my suspicions about her all along. But when I saw her down at Corey this afternoon, I knew. She was hiding Rain somewhere, so I followed her.
What?
Right to this house.
Wait, Ian was here? Ian didn't hurt anybody. He didn't even hurt me. Just used me as a cover to get away. Ryan, you understand, don't you? I mean, if he didn't have me there, the cops would have killed him.
No, I really don't think so. They wanted him in custody, Maggie, which is where he's supposed to be.
But Ian didn't do anything. Why won't you believe that?
Right, that's it.
Look, you have gotten every single break in the book. Now, if you want to keep on going the way that you're going,
I just helped a friend. When is that such a crime?
Your friend happens to have about 30 felony counts standing against him. Now, I think you're going to have an awful lot more to worry about than just a few years of probation if you keep going the way that you're going.
Could I use your phone, Mrs.
Yes,
Corey?
please. Well, it looks like your father's right. I'm going to have my hands full with Maggie.
Rachel, if you handle her half as well as you handle those stockholders, well, she'll be just fine. Do you need me anymore?
No, oh, I'm sorry. You want to get home to Hank?
Well, no, I don't, actually. I just feel I want to be on my own.
You all right?
Oh, I am just fine. I think Daddy would be very proud of you.
Thank you. You too. Thanks for all your help.
Oh, blood will out, as they say. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
I'm gonna take Ian's sketch over to KBAY, put her on the late news.
Oh, that's a good idea, but why don't you run it by Billy first?
Sure. Damn it.
What?
Rain abandoned your car down by the Springbrook Bridge. He's on foot, and my men have lost him.
All right,
Maggie!
Maggie?
That's it. Hostage or not, I'm taking you in as a material witness.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
So what's the news?
Maggie's home, and they're having some sort of family meeting, and the cops, too. The cops are there.
So do you want to go see her?
No, she's home. She's safe. She's all right.
She's your friend, Dave.
Yeah, she's my friend. I'm concerned about her, but she's okay. She's got her family around her. It's more than enough.
Look, if you want to go over there, I'll understand, and I won't make a federal case of
Hey,
it, okay?
Can you not push this, please? Is it okay? I want to spend the night alone with my girlfriend. Is that all right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I want to hear everything about Carl Hutchins.
Please.
Now, when did he contact
I would much
you
rather
first?
talk about your rehab.
No. Not until I get every detail about what this little weasel is up to. You know, if he is harassing you, then we have to do something about it, Luna.
What is this we?
Oh,
I
no.
told you, Felicia. I already took care of him.
Right. As though Carl Hutchins is somebody you could just take care of. Please. Why couldn't you have broken up with Kevin a month from now?
I do
We
not
could at
need a
least have
man
him
to
around.
protect me.
You know what? You're right, you don't. You know why? Because you have your mother.
Ah, two of my favorite ladies. Please, may I take you both to dinner? There's so much to catch up on.
You can save your money, Carl. We've already been fed. Come on, let's go see how Jen and Dean
No,
are.
no, no, no. Not until you hear me out first.
By all means. But if you're going to be touting the party line, please let me assure you that my drinking is quite under control. In fact, we'll have sparkling water in honor of you, Fanny. Now, how's that for an old friend, eh?
You son of... Mom. I'm warning you, Carl. You stay away from my daughter, or I will string you up by your toenails and put you in the center of Bay City.
Sounds like it's a line from a novel, Felicia. You know how I've missed your flair for hyperbole. And as per our conversation this morning, Lorna, I think, you know, well, it appears to be genetic.
Stay out of my life, Carl. And if I have to tell you one more time, I'm going to take my mother's advice, only I'll use a different part of your anatomy. Capiche?
Oh? I'd be crushed. Look, I simply wanted to rekindle old relationships. But seeing as you're both so adamant this evening, I think I should probably toddle along elsewhere. Buona notte, signorina.
What's Carl doing here?
Nothing. Look, he's just yesterday's news when we're all going to forget about him, right, Felicia?
No, because you never know what he's capable of doing.
He's not going to do anything because there's nothing in it for him. Now, if all of you worrywarts will excuse me, I have to meet a new client over at Sassy's.
I love you. Please let me help you.
And I love you too. But don't smother me with all this unnecessary help.
Look, I get that you're trying to scare the pants off of the girl, but maybe I'll have more luck.
Look, fine. Whatever it takes. At this point, I'm willing to try anything. I'm gonna make another phone call.
Thank you, Billy. Marguerite, come here.
Maggie, please.
Well, Maggie, It looks like I got you off this time, but
Oh,
you know,
don't you mean again?
I've worked for the Coreys for years now, but I've never met one of them who's more spoiled or conceited than you are.
Conceited? No way.
Not only are you foolish enough to think that you're smarter than the police, but you show your family absolutely no allegiance whatsoever. Ian Rain held Stephen Frame's mother captive at least once, probably twice. And you don't even hesitate to invite this criminal into the Corey family home? Now, either you show these people the respect they're due, or I'm going to let them throw you in jail.
Listen, I'm gonna go check on Allie. Will you, let me know when you leave?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
This looks like he's really giving it to Maggie there.
Look, I know that she's your relative and all, but, I mean, nobody deserves it more. Ian Rain has done some very twisted things to the people we care about.
Well, I appreciate you coming over, Ryan.
Listen, thanks. I'm just as anxious to catch this guy as everybody else. By the way, have you heard how Stephen's doing?
Oh, Bridget called and said that Donna was taking Stephen out to be in the hospital with Vicky.
Great.
That's all we know. Why?
Well, I was just wondering if Vicky had actually called in herself.
Oh, she's not apt to do that. All we know is what we've heard via bulletins. She's doing better, though. I know that.
Yeah, that's great. But listen, if she does happen to call here, could you please get her number where I can get in touch with her?
Well, honey, I don't think she will call.
Right, but, well, if she does.
Of course, of course.
That's getting awfully late.
Yes, it certainly is, and you have to rest.
Actually, I had a little bit of a headache, Grant. I was wondering if you could bring me some aspirin.
Well, darling, I think it's time for your pain pills.
No. I don't want my pain pills. I just want a couple of aspirin.
All right. I'll be right back.
I need you to help me.
Yes, what do you need?
I need Ryan, and I want you to get him for me.
Get Ryan? Get Ryan? Are you out of your mind?
Oh, for crying out loud. I just want you to get him on the phone. I need to talk
Why
to him.
on earth would you want to get Ryan? That's too big a risk.
He risked everything for me. His career, his life, everything to find.
He almost killed you.
I know. And that's exactly why I need to talk to him, to tell him that it's okay.
Darling, I'm sorry. I can't do this. It's just too big a chance.
Mother, you said you wanted to help me. I need you to do this for me. Call Ryan tonight.
Billy, did Matthew tell you about putting the bulletin on KBAY tonight?
Yeah, he did, and I told him to go ahead. At this point, we need all the leads we can get on Ian Rain. No thanks to you.
And we've also surrounded the house, Rachel. I don't think Ian Rain's gonna be back.
Of course he's not gonna be back.
Maggie.
You know, thank you so much for that valuable piece of information. Too bad you weren't forthcoming about 10 hours ago.
Don't worry, Billy. We're gonna have a long chat about all of this once you two leave. Thank you so much for all of your help, and thank the men who found Maggie for us.
Well, you'll be hearing from me very soon, Rachel.
Yes, I'm sure.
Debating as to whether or not to press charges against little Maggie here. Good night, all.
Good night.
Oh, little Maggie, who does he think
Maggie?
he is?
He thinks you're a little girl with an awful lot of growing up to do, Maggie. Do you realize that that man was willing to risk his life to save yours? Think about it. Be back in touch, Rachel.
I'm not gonna like this, am I?
Thanks for the information, Rudolph.
Listen, Billy, I want to thank you for putting me back in the case.
Well, I thought you'd be helpful, and you were.
So does that mean you're going to lift the suspension?
I don't have that kind of pull
You got a lot of pull downtown.
Wait a minute, before you say anything, when Brett and Matt were leaving, I found a note for you. Looks really fancy. I wonder what's in it.
Give me the note, Maggie. And do me a big favor and go to bed.
Oh, okay, fine.
I'm looking forward to our drink. I'll be in touch. Carl.
Carl is just trying to terrorize everybody. Of course, he's starting with Lorna. And I don't quite know what to do because I don't know what...
You know, I don't think too many people are going to be happy to see us here, but to tell you the truth, I could care less.
Good for you, Jake. I'm glad to see some of your pride coming back.
I think we're going to be able to pull a rabbit out of the hat with the Coreys?
We still retain a very large share of their holdings. They might not know it yet, but we're going to be a force to be reckoned with, especially when they start pulling some strings.
What about Paulina? How am I going to square things with her?
By showing her just how good you are, Jake. Women admire that in men. Trust me.
What are Jake and Spencer doing here? I don't understand. First Carl, now them. What is this?
Honey, you're gonna see them around town. You can't let it upset you, okay? You're just gonna get used to it.
I don't care about either one of them. I really don't. What worries me is Carl. Oh, God, I should never have done that movie. I should have come home so I could have helped her out.
Lorna? Oh, come on, Mom. She would have done exactly what she did tonight. You know that she hates to let people in.
Absolutely. Look at Kevin. He's a walking example of it. He was a perfect man for her, and she just...
That's exactly what I'm talking about. She lost someone that was so important to her, and she doesn't even take the time to know that she's hurting yet.
Guys, she's a lot tougher than you're giving her credit for. Mom, she's got guts like you.
Oh, sure. She thinks she's a real superwoman, right?
Yeah.
Honey, look at me. Look at me.
I didn't mean it.
No, baby, I know you didn't. But it's true. You know, when you act like you can outsmart everybody all by yourself, people really do start to believe you.
So you mean if Lorna gets herself deep in trouble?
Yes. She'll make sure that there is nobody around to help her.
Who's there? I said, who's there?
Next week on Another World, can Ryan and Vicky find a way around Grant? Who will find Ian? And will Carl return to Bay City? If you can't wait to find out what's happening on Another World, call NBC's soap phone, 1-900-680-4NBC. Each call costs $1 per minute.